Jeez, wow, that's crazy. What are the odds of that? Oh, you're gonna get a lot of things like this where it's just everything from coffee shops to restaurants. There is the Greektown sign up there. All right, so here is the crown jewel park of the Danforth. All right, folks, welcome to the Danforth and kind of the surrounding areas that make up one of Toronto's best neighborhoods. Today we're going to be doing a little neighborhood tour of the Danforth, and we're just going to be talking about the neighborhood, covering, you know, vibe, taking a look at what kind of houses are here, some of the amenities that the area has to offer, just to give you a good idea of what it is like to live here. We'll also talk about the housing and, you know, how far away we are from Toronto. So just to get us situated here, we are crossing Ellerbeck Street and we are on Pretoria Avenue. Pretoria, like the South African town name, which I believe is where Elon Musk was born. Fun fact. Anyways, yeah, so right now we are technically in kind of Plater Estates, which is actually just to the north of Danforth. Danforth is kind of this street that obviously the neighborhood is named after, but it runs east to west. It's where Bloor Street East turns into the Danforth, and it's where the subway line, the green line, continues to run east. So we are just kind of what I would call a little bit north of the Danforth. And yeah, we're gonna do a little bit of kind of a walking neighborhood tour covering Plater Estates, North Riverside, and the Danforth. So this is just to kind of give you folks an idea. Sorry, I said North Riverside, I meant North Riverdale. So basically what we're doing here when we're talking about this neighborhood, to give you an idea, it's a bit of a chopped up L that we're looking at, but it's Broadview Ave, basically turning into Fulton Ave, Milverton Boulevard, then Woodbine Ave, the Danforth itself, Pape, and Gerrard Street East, and then linking back up with Broadview Ave. So this is kind of the area that we're focusing on today, and things are going to change as we go. There's Rick Mercer. How are you? How are you? Good. So as we kind of go through these, wow, that's crazy. What are the odds of that? So as we kind of go through the neighborhood here, okay, gotta recalibrate here. Was not expecting to run into Rick Mercer. I grew up watching his stuff, so that's kind of cool. But we're gonna go down here, continue down Plater Crescent, and then we'll kind of hook up with Danforth. Jeez, that is crazy. Okay, Tom, refocus here. Okay, so yeah, so you know, the point of these videos, as always, is to just give you an idea for kind of what some of Canada's either most well-known or best neighborhoods are, what they have to offer, what it's like to live there, so that if you're thinking about making a move to one of those areas, you're not kind of going in blind. You can start your shopping a little bit earlier. And we've built up a bit of a pretty extensive network across the country to help with with you making your move across the country. So whether it's Toronto, Montreal, any of the big Canadian cities, we're here to help you with realtors, lawyers, all that stuff. And we love it when people reach out to us, and we hope that you love these videos that we put out. So, if you click around on the channel, try to do playlists based on the city, and then focus on things like neighborhood spotlights, or neighborhood tours, I should say, as well as things like, top 10 this, pros and cons of living in an area, all that good stuff, just to kind of prep you, give you an idea of what it is we're looking at. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is head back towards the actual Danforth itself, and then essentially kind of go up the Danforth and then cut back in across, kind of cut back, I guess, what would be north, meander on through the neighborhood, and then we'll kind of circle back around, cross over the Danforth, and head towards Riverdale Park East, which we'll get into. So just to kind of prep you for the Danforth, this is, a very kind of commercialized, well, it's a commercialized street. This is where the subway runs. But one of the interesting things about this neighborhood is that it's got a real good mix of commercial and residential applications. So, you're going to get a lot of things like this where it's just everything from coffee shops to restaurants, little mom and pop shops, all kinds of stuff. Everything you need will be on the Danforth, and then a lot of the kind of busier streets that are offshoots of the Danforth. So wherever you are in this neighborhood, you're not going to be too far away from, great dining, great bars, shopping. We got little bookstores and stuff there. And basically, anything you really need is going to be very close by. So super handy. Let me make sure I'm focusing on my camera here. But, other than kind of those basic shopping amenities, the cool thing about the Danforth is it's like, it was built, it's called the Greek at Danforth, I believe. And it's got very big Greek roots, but also during kind of the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, there was a lot of different immigrant communities that made the neighborhood kind of into what it is now. And we'll actually be finishing in East Chinatown, which is obviously a different culture. But the big kind of key thing here is that a lot of this is Greek influence. As you can see, there's the Greek flags. And then during the Taste of the Danforth, which is this popular festival, I believe, end of August, big kind of food festival, street party, all that stuff. It kind of focuses on celebrating all that Danforth has to offer. So overall, this neighborhood has, a really great kind of community vibe. You can get out and find your squad, if you will, find your tribe, but also, you don't really have to head into downtown to feel like you're in the heat of things. Okay, so I think we got a pretty good idea of what the Danforth has to offer. Again, lots of older style restaurants, but also some newer stuff. As obviously this neighborhood has kind of become gentrified over the last, I guess, several decades. But with the property prices doing what they're doing, that's definitely to be expected. As you get more individuals with higher net worths moving in and purchasing places, then you're going to find that kind of the old culture, if you will, tends to kind of just slip away. Now, the interesting thing about the Danforth is it does have a lower percentage of ownership, which means that there's a lot of landlords who have purchased in here and are renting it out. So you do have people from all over the economic spectrum. I may have misrepresented the area when I said that it was, you know, all high value individuals, but there's a significant number of renters in the area here as well. And that's for a variety of reasons. One, it's, you know, it's got that coffee culture, as I like to call it, the coffee shop culture, where you can kind of be really close to things to do, you know, great walkability. You're also not very far from downtown Toronto. If you got a commute, you can hop on the subway line, which I believe there's about 4 stops along the Danforth Road there, which I would consider to be part of the Danforth neighborhood. And so once you're on there, you know, it's probably half, depending on where you are, it's probably 25 minutes to 35 minutes right into downtown. So easy to commute, and that's obviously a great draw for people that kind of want a good quality of life while being in a quote-unquote not suburb, but, you know, a bit more residential area of Toronto that's close to home. Okay, so a little all over the map here, but let's talk about some of the other amenities. So one thing that we will be kind of taking a peek at here in a bit is going to be some of the awesome parks that the Danforth has to offer. One being Riverdale Park East, which has some unbelievable views over, kind of facing downtown Toronto. And they also have, you know, down at that park, they've got tennis courts, soccer field. I believe there's a skating rink down there. There's a pool. So great community kind of park. That's kind of the crown jewel of the area, if you will. And again, technically not in Danforth, but, you know, depending on who you talk to, it is. So we'll be heading there, and then you've got the Don River Valley Trails very close by, which is nice, you know, if you want to go for a walk in basically the woods, then that is an option there. And then you've also got Withrow Park, which has skating rink. They've also got some tennis courts, basketball courts. Actually, I don't know if they have tennis courts there. But overall, you know, you've got a lot of kind of good outdoor amenities nearby that you can access, which is great. Other kind of amenities would be, you know, I guess they have the hospital, which is kind of to the east. Michael Guerin Hospital. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Michael Guerin. And then, as I've mentioned, the big thing about this area is that coffee culture community vibe. So you can always be kind of close to doing things, you know, having fun. Okay. So I guess briefly we'll talk about housing, and then I'm gonna kind of just, you know, let us walk through here. But so in terms of housing, I don't usually like to speak about rents, just because we don't really assist people. I mean, we're always up for helping people out, but in terms of property prices, you know, I'm looking here in September of 2023. And on the lower end, for kind of a townhome, you're looking at $800K. And then, like everywhere, as I always say, you can walk that price point way up depending on what it is you're looking for, what your budget is, right? If you're looking for a detached home that's been fully updated, you're going to get in the multi-millions. Even in certain cases with a semi-detached home that's been renovated, you'll be in the multi-millions. So this is kind of, it's going to require a little bit of research on your part, but we can definitely help you with that too. Figure out, I mean, the whole point of this channel is to help you figure out what neighborhood you should be living in, and then as well as what jives with your budget. So that's going to be more your decision, but we're here to help you with making that educated decision so that you don't end up in the wrong place and you're in your budget range, right? But yeah, so that's kind of, you know, when it comes to housing, like so much of Toronto, you've got a huge range of options. A lot of the houses here are made of brick. And then you're going to get a wide span of what kind of property you're looking for, right? There is some new modern stuff. I mean, here's one actually right here. As I say that, it's good timing. But those are going to run you a pretty penny compared to some of the older brick stock, or something like this where you've got the kind of older style townhome, right? It's a little bit smaller lots here, but again, you can roll down the street to the Danforth here. So it really comes down to your lifestyle and your choice of what you want. Okay, so I'm going to walk now for a bit and let you enjoy. Okay, actually we're gonna go this way and head over to Pape Street. So I was gonna cut back along Danforth, but we're gonna go to Pape just so you can see the subway station. This is one of, I think, 4 along the Danforth itself. So, you know, depending on where you are, you're gonna be able to reach the transit quite simply. And then the thing is the Danforth obviously runs east-west. There's other streets that kind of cross the Danforth in northwest, or sorry, north-south. And those streets have bus lines. So you can get from one place to the other. And there is the subway station, Pape subway station. So we're gonna turn right here and cross over. And then head kind of up. So this type of street here, Pape, you can see, you know, lots of little commercial along here, and you're gonna find these roads kind of throughout the Danforth. The other thing too is if we're looking, so we just kind of walked west to east, along the inside of the Danforth, and the Danforth will keep kind of continuing up several blocks, but we're going to cut across and head south towards the lake, just so you guys can kind of see a bit of North Riverside, and then the park and all that good stuff. But the point I want to stress is that, you know, even if you're kind of a little bit further away from maybe Danforth Street, or Danforth Avenue, sorry, then when you're within that neighborhood, you might be able to move kind of to either side of the neighborhood, where you'll be able to access one of these commercial streets for, you know, running errands or whatever the heck you got. Okay, so now we're back on the Danforth. There is the Greektown sign up there, and you can actually see the Greek street sign. Look at that. Just another busy street. And then back that way is downtown Toronto. And we're just gonna head along Pape here. So we're trying to cross over now. And the other thing I wanted to touch on here too is the Danforth area in general is quite safe, right? Which is a big bonus for a lot of people who are either renting or looking to buy. You know, there's a healthy mix of people from all economic levels here, and you're also going to have a pretty good mix of the, I guess, demographic of folks living here. So you've got, you know, everything from young families, young professionals, older folks that have been here forever. So it's not, you know, like you find often in a lot of big city neighborhoods that aren't crazy priced or crazy low priced or dangerous. You're gonna have a very wide mix of people on the economic scale, what their position is in life, whether it's, you know, their family, maybe they're singles or maybe they're seniors, and then you're also going to have just a healthy mix of everybody. So yeah. Okay, so here we are at Withrow Park, and again, so now we've crossed over the Danforth. Now we're on the south side of the Danforth, and you know, I've had friends that have lived in the city for a long time, and when I lived here as well, this was one of my favorite areas, was this area just south of the Danforth, and you'll kind of see why. I mean, obviously this park is great, but there's also some just great housing options, as well as this other park, which we're going to check out here soon. Got some Tai Chi going on there. And now we're about to cross Logan Ave. Continue to head kind of back towards downtown Toronto. So we're getting on Hogarth Ave here. And we're gonna, this guy's gonna let me go. Okay, whoop, let's not get killed. So heading back, I mean, downtown Toronto's kind of down that way, but we're heading back. We're gonna take a look at the park, take a look at some of these houses, and then finish off kind of down at the park. If we have time. And we might, so on the kind of lower corner, or the far edge of this neighborhood, is where kind of Chinatown East is. So it's not the same Chinatown that many are familiar with Toronto. It's located on Spadina, but this is kind of another Chinatown as well. Not as built up, but yeah, it's there. All right, so here is the crown jewel park of the Danforth. So as you can see, you know, you get the sun setting over top of downtown Toronto, but you've got just a lot of like public space here. There's kind of another recreation center right back there. And yeah, it's just a great spot to enjoy the outdoors. You can see this green belt here too, which is the Don Valley River, and there's paths in there that you can access as well. So that's another aspect of this neighborhood where you're just close to those outdoor amenities, if you will, which is just a great kind of thing to have in your backyard, especially when you're in the big city, right? You want to get outside, get some fresh air. So we're going to keep going here. And obviously the views from some of these places will be phenomenal, but we're gonna keep going along here, grab a bite to eat. Now, as you can see here too, one thing I wanted to point out, there is the trolley line out here, but currently there's a ton of construction going on. It's like any big city, there's always a lot of construction going on. So right now it's out, but there's pretty good transit kind of around this whole area. I mean, anywhere really in Toronto. May not be the most reliable or on time, but you've got wide-reaching tentacles for transit in Toronto, which makes getting around a heck of a lot easier. And yeah, I mean, other than that, we're pretty good. I hope this, you know, video has helped. I always appreciate comments down below, letting me know what kind of other stuff I should include in these. Obviously, I'm traveling to these different towns, these different cities, and trying to do my best. But if there's other information that you think would be valuable to you, to other viewers, to people looking to move to a place in proportion to the neighborhood, then drop a comment below, and I'd love to see if it's something that I could incorporate there. But yeah, other than that, you know, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to crank out more and more content every day. There's I believe that's the Rooster Cafe. That's like a grandfathered cafe right across from the park, which is really cool. But yeah, we're trying to come up with content regularly on Canadian cities across the board, and we're always looking for to help people make their move, whether it's into Canada or from province to province, or maybe you're looking to sell a house. We've got a network of agents and other professionals that will help you with your move. And other than that, I hope you enjoyed this tour of the Danforth. We'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye-bye.